We're staying in our new metalplate.dwg file. And what we're going to have a look at now is how we can freeze layers in our current viewport. What I'd like you to do, obviously we're still in the sections and elevations layout tab at the moment. Let's go to the plan view layout tab. Now you can see there's lots of different objects being displayed in that viewport. Now those objects are in the model tab. You can see your dimensions, there's dimensions there, circles, arcs, etc. In the plan view though, in the plan view layout tab, you're looking at that through a viewport. So imagine that viewport is kind of like a hole in the sheet of paper and you're looking through into the model tab, into model space. What you can do is you can freeze layers in this current viewport. Now, obviously, we've only got the one viewport in this particular layout tab, but what you can do is you can work with your current viewport and you can obviously make the necessary changes. So what you do is you double click inside the viewport to activate it. Now, at the moment, I'm having a bit of an issue double clicking and it's not activating because it's a locked viewport. Can you see that? So it's there, it's active, but I can't zoom in or do anything because it's locked. Double click outside the viewport to deactivate it if you've already activated it like I have. Click on the edge of it like that, select it, go down to the padlock and unlock it for the moment. Double click inside the viewport and activate it. That way you know that you can make changes to the viewport. Obviously you're not going to change the scale of the viewport this time, you're going to work with the layers. Now, make sure you're in the Home tab on the ribbon and go to your Layer drop-down in the Layers panel. Now, you'll notice we've got various layers and there's this little grey square icon. Can you see that next to each layer? What that means is you can freeze that layer in the current viewport. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to freeze the Dimensions layer in the viewport and I'm going to freeze the Center Lines layer in the viewport. Notice what happens in the viewport. So now I'll double click outside the viewport to deactivate it. Just click on the viewport edge and lock the viewport again to make sure nobody messes up the scale. If I go back to the model tab, all those elements are still there. So all I've done is I've frozen them in the current viewport. I'll go back to the plan view, make sure I select the viewport, make sure I unlock the padlock, double click inside the viewport, layer drop down, back to the center lines there. I'll thaw that one out and I'll thaw out the dimensions one. See the little snowflakes on each one? And as you can see, they're back again. Double click outside the viewport to deactivate, select the edge of the viewport, make sure you lock the viewport again. Hit escape to deselect the viewport. And as you can see, it's quick and easy to freeze those layers in your current viewport. It's a really useful tool because sometimes when you're working with viewports, there's only certain things that you want to display to communicate your design intent in your drawing. There might be layers that you don't want people to see, or they're just, not really needed to communicate that design. So utilize that freezing in the current viewport. It's an incredibly useful tool and it's great. And then just make sure that you've locked your viewport afterwards so that no one else can jump in and make any unnecessary changes.